Alrighty, so today we're playing Roguelike Adventures in Dungeons. It's a pack that's all about exploring. There's cool just places to visit, things like that. And our goal for this mod pack is to become the strongest person in this world, you know? So there's a bunch of different stuff in the pack that we can do. I want to focus a bit on wizardry. There's a lot of just interesting mechanics, but mainly just running around and looting. So our first step in this world is to find ourselves a home. So we spawn in and we just kind of go out looking for a place to live. The first thing I do notice off in the distance is the wizard's home. And what better way to get yourself acquainted with becoming the strongest being than meeting another strong being? So we pull up to the wizard's home, we organize ourselves, we get ready, we summon our little doggy. Now, I wish I named this dog, but I didn't, and do not get attached to him because I have no idea what happens to him. At some point, he just isn't with us anymore, and I'll let you try to figure out when that happens, because at this point I still do not know. So we meet this wizard, we kind of look through his items, see if he has anything to sell us. He doesn't really have anything super interesting. Couple wands, an upgrade. But he's the first friendly wizard we've meeting, and so we're gonna mark it down, remember his home, and hopefully one day we can learn the secrets that make this wizard so strong so that we can overcome it and become more powerful ourselves. And then it's just back to the search for our home. Now, we stumble across this place. It's a mushroom forest. It's all lit up. It's got a bunch of just flowers, pumpkin. And in my head, I'm thinking, what better of a magical place to live than in this mushroom forest? If that doesn't scream magical, then I don't know what does. I have the little starter house that you get from the start, because one, I'm terrible at building, and I just think that the starter house gives you enough stuff. Obviously, it's a starter house, but for the most part, it's going to be my end house, you know? I'm not very much builder. I might add a few improvements to the starter house as I see fit, and maybe towards the end, once we become stronger, we'll add something. But to me, this mod pack feels a lot more like exploring than it does building. So I just set down, make sure that the house isn't going to look just super weird out of place. And then I said it. This was terrifying. The dog gets sucked up. I have no idea what happens to him. I'm running around frantic. I'm killing my dog. He's gone. He's done. He's dead. I try to dig him up. He's not alive. I'm just running around. I'm like, what do I do? The sound is terrifyingly frightening. I cannot get over how sad this dog is. I'm like, oh my god, is he under? Is he over there? And I pull the dog whistle. I'm like, oh, maybe he'll come with the dog whistle. Nope, still not coming. I'm like, please, what's happening? I'm like, is he under? Should I chop up this wood? I'm like, it gets softer. I'm like, where is this dog? And then I just go, you know what? I'm out. I'm going to go, and I'm just going to run. And hopefully the dog teleports to me. I just run for my life. The screaming stops, but that's just because I'm further away. I turn around, and oh my god, what happened to my poor boy? He looks like he's been murdered. I'm like, oh, can I feed you anything? Nothing. And then this invisible ass, illager comes charging at us, and you'll see that some of the mobs that are rare get all these. It's kind of I don't know if you've ever played Diablo 3 or anything. It's the rares get, or Diablo 2 obviously, but the rares, or Path of Exile, the rares get these buffs to them, and this guy is invisible with regen, and my dog, you can hear him out there, is just taking the beating for us. He's going to town. He's going to kill this illager. And the sad part is, I don't know if you saw it, the illager has regen on. So I'm like trying to load up my stuff just so I can go try to fight him. My dog's holding it down. At this point, I believe my dog is invincible. He never dies. He survived a house being sat on top of him, and this illager just punching him. But you can see his cloaking, exhaust, weakness, and regen. And it means I'm hitting him, and I'm doing literally nothing to him. He can live everything. Like, I'm literally doing nothing. He just regens it all back up. I beat on him for a minute to save this dog, and he is literally will not die. I have no idea how at this point I'm supposed to beat him. My dog, just, it's the saddest thing you've ever seen. How he's alive, I don't know. That dog, like I tell you, he's got the dog in him. He does not stop. So I'm like, oh, I'll go take out these weird illagers, basically. And so I just beat them up. They die because they don't have any of the regen. But this one, fucking just will not die. Just, it's going to be here. I'm just beating the life out of him. It's not doing a thing. And so I give up. I'm like, ah, fuck it. Live to fight another day. The dog will teleport back to me. This thing is focused on the dog. It's just will not die. I'm like, all right, let's go home. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Let's leave this thing be. We can't fight it, right? So close the doors. He's not coming in. And I got to eat some food. I go down because if I go far enough away, the dog will teleport to me, right? That's my plan. And then I'm just going to eat up. And also in this mod, I don't know if you know, but like eating different types of food, like different types and new food you haven't seen. Like if you ever seen the menu, let's say you get like there, you get another heart for eating different types of food. So I'm trying to eat as many different foods that I have. And you'll notice as I continue, there's these Pam's Forests little like gardens along the ground, and they contain a bunch of food. And so I'll just pick them up and eat them. So if you ever wonder, like if I'm hungry and I'm not eating the food I have, or you're like, what's going on? It's because I'm just trying to eat as many different foods as I can. Like whatever new food I have, I do it. And so you'll see I'm just organizing here at this point. Like, I mean, there's nothing really going on. Just super organizing. And then I head back out to fight this same villager who I tell you will not die for the life of me. And all I do is I just run away, eat some food, and just hope that this villager will respawn and not come after me. Because it's nuts that he just keeps living. And so at this point, I completely abandon going after the villager, right? And so what I'm doing here is I'm going to be mining out an area where I want to put my storage system. So for this mod pack, what seems to be the best storage is using the like simple storage controllers and stuff, and building like a giant, well, colossal chest is what the mod is. And then you have these just big chests that come, and then they can store all your stuff. So instead of me just throwing this stuff in here, it's doing this. So you see me click through. I pick the wizard item because, like I said, I met the first wizard. He was pretty strong, and so I'm like, oh, I'll copy him, imitate him. You know, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. I'll copy him, and I will become a wizard myself. So I take the crate, open it up, bing, got all my wizard items. I'm not gonna wear that shit because that shit's garbage, right? Trash. But I do like the wand. I make use of the wand. The wand is fun. It lets you cast spells. And then build more pickaxes. And then just back to clearing this area out. If you notice why chunks of it can go at a time, there is the excavation mod, which is like the vein miner. And if you use it on stone, it just goes for a decent chunk, or if you're using like stone pickaxes till your pickaxe breaks. I kind of want a clean area, so I don't use it fully, but I do excavate out this area just to try to get the space I need for this. So if you notice, I'm trying to show you guys as much of the things that I do, even the boring stuff. And trust me, there's a lot of boring stuff I'm not super good, right? So I just mine out, but I will fast forward it and just play through hopefully pretty quickly, just so you get the gist of what I'm doing, so you don't come back and you're like, oh, what happened? The whole area is gone. Like, how did he do that? I mined it by hand like an idiot, right? And just keep filling, getting more pickaxes, and I mean, that's the name of the game. It's just mine this area out. I don't remember how long it took me, actually in real time to do it. Probably 10 minutes. There's probably a way better and faster way that I do not know, right? So it's all by hand. That's just how I roll, Clear it out. It'll be nice. And then this area will kind of be our storage area, and what will become just kind of like our mini base under the base, right? Where most of our things that we need to get done, we'll just throw because it's in close proximity. Eventually, I hope, right, to build out a better base. But for now, this place will do, right? We got some iron, and so all we need is some wood because we need more sticks and just wood in general for the colossal chest. And so I go out, I get some wood. I'm like, oh yeah, I dug that up because of the dog. We go, and then we can build ourselves some sticks, right? Make an iron pickaxe, and then use our 3 left over to make a bucket. Because it's always good to have a bucket of water. And so that's kind of the game plan. I'm looking, it's nighttime, so I'm like, yeah, let's take a nap before we go out there. We don't want to go out of the night where all the monsters are, being so unequipped, right? So we're just going to run around, and then we're coming into here. There's a little shack by us. It's got some, usually food stuff in these shacks, but a free copper helmet since we only have leather stuff. And then, like I said, some more food, some golden carrots, some new things that we haven't eaten. And like I said, that's kind of what it comes to when it's food. Early on is trying to eat as much different types of food as you can, because it helps you get those extra hearts, so that, like you can see, I have the 12 hearts now instead of the 10, and that's all from just eating food. And then we're going to go into this little place. These things are super good early on for having one in these bottom chests that you'll see coming up. In these bottom chests in here, they usually have just not crazy rare stuff, but just little rare stuff that can help you out early on. These ones kind of stuff, but sometimes they have cool enchants, good food, like good magic stuff, spell books, stuff like that. And so kind of grab what's useful to us, or what I think might be useful to us, and then move to the other chests. And there's 3 at the bottom. And we just kind of clean it out for the loot because, like I said, these are good early to find, because one, like I said, they have some interesting spells, some interesting food like that enchanted golden apple, and some good stuff to help us. Even these loot boxes, which can come in handy and have some cool stuff for us. And then up top, when we go up there of these areas, they have, I think it's 6 chests. No, it's 8 chests at the top, surrounded by cobblestone, and those usually hold a lot of emeralds. These chests right here hold a lot of emeralds and diamonds for us. And I don't learn the lesson yet. You'll still see me go when we need iron, but I do learn fairly early on that the best way to get the items like diamonds, not so much emeralds, because emeralds are literally everywhere in this mod pack, but the best way to get the diamonds that you need is just to go looting, kill monsters, and raid these things, because you'll find way more diamonds here and from killing monsters than you ever will from just going down into the mines. You'll barely find diamonds in the mines. I mean, look at that. We left and we had like 13 diamonds. I don't know the exact. We'll see. But just so many diamonds for us compared to, watch, we'll go on a big mining spree for iron. So 19 diamonds here in this video. And just count how many diamonds we get from that. It's nowhere close. And that was 2 feet from our base, you know. So it's always better to go looting and killing and finding than it is to go mining. So this pack isn't big on go mine for 50 hours and come up with what you need. It's more like go hunt for what you need. Another heart, like just running out and not being at home is super beneficial. So that was me, like I said, looking at the colossal chest and seeing how much iron we need. Now, iron is probably easier to find mining because there's like 50 ways to get iron. So you'll just bear through this mining montage as I just hunt for iron. And that is the sole purpose of this, is just to hunt for iron. Like, that's all we're looking for. You'll see me smelt some, move some, get some more picks, right? And look at the recipe. And so this is the colossal chest recipe. It's for the iron. You can obviously make wooden ones and stuff like that, but I figure it's best to go for iron. It's like the third, because there's like copper and then there's like silver after it and gold, and those are a bit harder. And obviously diamond, and then diamond obsidian is harder than it is to just go and just get a bunch of iron to make our colossal chests. And you will, I think, be surprised. It's a lot of work to get the iron at the start, but you'll be surprised how much the chests hold while you're going. You know, like you build the chests, and then you'll be surprised how much like they hold. And to give kind of a brief rundown, I don't know if anyone sees it. You'll see me mess up early when making this, is because right here I accidentally make a chest interface instead of the chest core. And the chest interface is another place that interacts with the simple storage like pipings or wires that connect to the system. But the chest core is what you actually need to make the chest. And so when you see, you can make them any size as long as they're like symmetrical. So you can go 2x2, which is like a 4-block little chest. I decided to go 3x3. So like that. And if I built up 2 more up on it, and then a chest core, or 3 more in a chest core, that would be a done colossal chest. But I go 3. And so if you go 3x3, it means you need to go, 3x3x3 technically. And then you leave the inside block hollow. And that's how the colossal chest core works. You'll see me build it. And then I open the door, I go out, and this illager just comes in and brutally murders me. Just right in front of my poor dog. And my dog has to take him out for us. So that is our first death. And as a memento, I leave my head down next to the bed, so we always remember the days of the illager. And then, like I said, it's just mark it as our home. Go out. See the ravine is a good place to mine. Grab some more food, because we always want to be eating. And then just get a bucket. Fill it with we forgot our water. Get our bucket. Fill it with water, and then jump into this ravine. And then it's back to just mining for iron. Because like I said, to make these colossal chests, it's a lot of iron, but feasible. We just go to these ravines and we just hunt for our iron. Give us some coal, and then quartz is always good. But like I said, mainly iron. We're looking for all that iron. And look at this zombie. It's a hardened zombie, so he's got a lot of defense. And my dog does not care. He just gets in that pit, and he just fights this zombie like it's going out of style. I've never seen that this dog puts his life on the line for us every day. And how he's still alive, I'll never know. I mean, the man is a monster. He dies for us like 7 times. If they actually killed the mobs, we'd have lost this dog frame 1. We don't deserve him. And you'll find out later, I don't deserve him. I have no idea what happens to him. He's gone. If you see what happens to him, let me know, because I got no idea. One day he's with me, and then the next day, he's gone. I don't see him anymore. It's like he left. He realized he was better than us, and he moved on to a new home. So yeah, then, like I said, it's just back to iron hunting. That's all we're doing. We want these irons. Some of the flowers are weird. Like, you'll see those white flowers. You'll see when I hit them. Look at that creeper. This is our first use of magic. So we just start shooting the magic missile, the basic spell that you get on the wands. And we try to kill this invisible, withering, and, like, cloaking, like, throws potions creeper. And then, like I said, back to the hunt of iron. But those white flowers, they levitate. If you'll ever see real quickly, you just kind of spin. And they levitate. So it's interesting. But yeah, the hunt for iron continues. And that's kind of all this is we know we need a bunch of iron for the chests. And that's all that I'm doing is just running through and hunting for these irons while killing any mob that spawns. So if you ever wonder what's going on, that's literally it. I just want to show you how I get these things. I don't want to just tell you, oh, I mined iron, trust me, you know. So just a quick fast forward of everything that's happening. And then climbing back out. Going home. It's nighttime again, so smelting all of our iron. And then building the rest of our colossal chest cores that we need. So I'm not sure the exact number that I need this second, but I build 10, and I'll go down and we'll check it out. Because we need to go 1 and then out, and then up 2 more along the edges. So, and then up 1 more from these, you'll see. And that's it. So I'm like, oh, I need more. So we go back up. And then we go back, put some more iron in there. Grab it. And like I said, continue to make these chest cores that we need. So and that's what I'm doing. Just working towards building this final chest core. And that's the game plan for this. Scooch my dog out of the way. Build up, build up. And so we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like 6 more total, I think. Which we have enough iron for. So like I said, just finishing out these chest cores. Boom. Grab them all. Go down. Bing, bing, bing. And then, boom, chest done. Oh, wait, we realize that is the wrong item. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, what? This is correct, right? And so I build out, and then I'm like, oh, what is that thing? And I look, and it's the chest interface. And I realize I need a chest core. I put it back because I'm going to use it for piping. But I need the chest core, which luckily is just a chest wall with 1 piece of iron. So not too bad. So we build it, place it in, And boom, that is the chest done. You see, it's just a giant chest. And look at that scroll wheel is all storage. And you'll see throughout that, I mean, I start even right here. I'm like, okay, so this is where I'm going to have my stuff. And then I'll just put the extra ones and we'll build a second one if we need it. But truly, I don't know if we ever fill this up. Because it holds so much. Like, it's crazy how much it holds. And then this is just me going and sorting through the rest of our things, because now I just need to move some of the stuff we have into here, right? I open up my mega loot box, boom, get some samurai leggings, put those bad boys on, way better than leather pants, huck those in, and then back to just moving up our storage. Just cleaning out what we had in our chest that's useful, things that I care about, and then dropping them in this chest. As you see right there, I'll scroll through the chest with my mouse wheel. I'll just scroll through the chest, and then I'll randomly have items showing up in my inventory, and it didn't make any sense to me. I was like, what's going on? Why do all these items just keep showing up in my inventory? And I didn't realize when you scroll, you're pulling one of those items out of the chest. And so because I was scrolling like on the pictures of the items, I'm literally pulling them out instead of if you just scroll off to the side of them to move the thing down, then that's better. But if you look, like, I'll hold and I'll just scroll things and they'll just end up in my inventory. So just pay attention, you'll see it. But like I said, this becomes a little hidey home as I kind of work towards building the next steps of our storage system that we want, which is the simple storage connector. So that's the things like the controller, all that stuff, the storage network, the storage request center, the storage inventory, all that stuff is what I build to connect, so that way we have a crafting and an interface to pull up to the thing. But you know what, that stuff, it requires a lot of different stuff, like lapis for us, more iron, always more iron, and stone. And then even at one point, it's going to require some obsidian. So it's not difficult to get, especially early on. It's just not what I have right at the get out from having my stones tools. So this is just the name of the game, back to iron hunting. And then you know what I come across while I'm hunting iron? Almost death from a creeper. But no, this madman right here. Another wizard, our second wizard. And he starts attacking me. An evil wizard. He freezes me. And it's magic versus magic, except I also have a dog. And so my dog goes out and he's ready to fuck him up. Look at him. He's just beating him into the corner as we toss our spells at him. This is an angry wizard. And what better than to test our might against the wizards than beating this evil one down? Save the world of those generous wizards that we met at the beginning. And kill this evil madman. But he keeps freezing us. And I don't know if you guys know how to stop frostbite, but it is the most annoying thing spells can do. Other than, I lied, there are two. There's paralyzing from lightning spells and frostbite from cold spells. And both of those are the worst things ever. Your frostbite, you're just frozen. You can like swing, but you can't move. And paralyzed, you just can't do anything. Like, you're just stuck. Like paralyzed, literally. And so it is the worst. So, like I said, you'll just see me running back home, killing things, moving on. Killed that spirit, which is our first ectoplasm. I don't really do much with it now, but down the road, it'll become minorly helpful, as you can build a key from it that lets you visit the spirit world. Like, it's this dimension that like becomes your own personal area. I haven't used much of it, but it's helpful for A, getting away if you need to, and B, you put some storage in there. So the first start, like I said, I don't know if you can see the inventories. is building these storage network, these things, these little cables. You need a lot of them for the task. And then it's me just searching through. You see the scrolling, how things are just getting added. I don't realize till a bit later that it's just because I'm scrolling over them. I'm like, how are these things in my inventory? I don't care about them at all. But that's why. That's why they're in there. Because if you just scroll down through it, you grab the items. And it needs quartz. So I'm like, okay, that's what I'm looking for, some quartz. Make some quartz blocks. Boom, 4, perfect amount. And then we need a diamond as well, right? And that's how you make the first one. Bing, 1 diamond. And so that is the first one done. That's the controller for them. And then this one, I'm like, okay, we have the cables. We need a workbench and some gold. Easy enough to get. Just need some wood for the workbench. And then these Reggie gold clumps, which is either you can craft them into redstone or smelt them into gold. We have 4, which makes 4 ingots, which is perfect for us. And then, yeah, a piece of wood for the workbench. And then, bing. So that's that second machine done. So in total, there's 4 of these machines. The last machine that we build, the controller, is the hardest one to get, right? Dropper, this is just cobblestone and redstone. Easy enough, got plenty of cobblestone. And I think we got some redstone, right? And so there's that scrolling again. I just always mess it up. I'm like, oh. And I look, we have no redstone. So you know what? Back to the mines for hunting redstone. That's some of it, but I think there's just better, like just redstone by itself instead of wasting that stuff, which is redstone and iron. Also, just to recapitulate, and there's our first diamonds, and I think literally the only diamonds I ever see while mining. They are an elusive breed, that's for sure. But redstone, quartz, lapis, that is the stuff that is actually going to be helpful to us. And I'm like, how do these things end up in my inventory? And as you can see, there's some more just Reggie, whatever you might call it. Just the like redstone and iron clump. Much better as iron than redstone, right? Redstone's easy enough to get usually. And then so we build the dropper. Bing. And then we build this. And I'm like, oh, wait, I need iron and more cabling. See, you'll see every time I scroll for a little bit, these things end up, and I'm just in my head, I'm like, what the hell? How is this happening? But it's because I'm just scrolling over the items like a dumb little idiot. See, there I go again. Every time, right? And I'm just like, why are they here? And then I realize scrolling down there, you see where my cursor is? That's how you get through it. And then I'm like, oh, I need some iron. So I don't know what I was really looking at. Build some of that. Put some iron in, make the nuggets. Build the third machine. Now, that's 3 out of the 4 machines. This one is the toughest. You need obsidian, 4 blocks of lapis, which I know I don't have enough of. I've got 27, which is not 4 blocks of lapis, right? I do is pretty dumb. Don't mind me, but click on it each time instead of shift clicking to make the maximum out of it. But we learned, like I said, this is kind of the first real modded Minecraft experience I've ever had. So we're learning as we go through. I realize, okay, I'm going to need gold and I'm going to need obsidian and a lot more things to make that last controller, right? All that stuff. I'm like, okay, I need a lot more than what I have. So I just go and I'm like, all right, let's go exploring for a little bit. And we can get the things that we need later. I'm gonna need I looked up bonsais, right, for getting better wood. So I got some clay for the bonsai, which I thought would be helpful. And then I'm just out running, eating food, killing things, the whole 9 yards. That's the game plan here. So you'll see me just going, and then these little flowers that you'll see me, these blue little flowers, if you collect them, those flowers, and then you sift them out, they make like lapis pulp, which you can make lapis out of. So that's me hunting for the lapis. And then we come across another wizard tower. I head on up, and I'm like, oh, cool, where was... And I look at him, and he's angry already. So we fight him. We're like, okay, another wizard, another angry wizard. Beat his ass. He's done. Got nothing left to do. And what do you do after you beat a wizard? You rob him of all of his things. So this arcane workbench, my arcane workbench. In here, these books, my books. That crystal, my crystal. Your bookshelves, my bookshelves, my books now. And books, oh my god. The enchanting stuff down the road and just wanting bookshelves for spells and you want so many books. So, I mean, there becomes a point where I'm just on the hunt for books. It's nighttime and it's time to head back home. Kill some little deer, get their venison, new meat haven't eaten. And like I said, that kind of starts the early part of it. It's just this hunger for different types of food. If I haven't killed an animal that drops food, trust me, I'll kill it and eat it, you know? And then this motherfucker, what is this thing? It's shooting its beams at me. It's setting me on fire. It's the scariest Enderman I've ever seen. And it's just insane. I'm munching on my food, all these different types, just trying to heal up the hearts. And look at this monstrosity, this rifted Enderman. And he's a pyro. And so I'm just like, okay, I'm hiding under the trees. He can't get me. He's still like a dumb Enderman like the other ones. Right? And so I just eat up, heal, and then I'm just going to beat this man to death with my axe. Because I have no sword at this point either. And I'm like, oh my god, he's just not dying. But we can see it. He turns this weird white, which I have no idea why. But it's interesting. We get an achievement for killing him, which is really sick. Super helpful. And we head back home. We're like, all right, it's nighttime. Let's get back to what we were doing. And you'll see, so I'm making the clay into bricks, which will help us for our bonsai. As you can see up there, I kind of looked up bonsais for us, so that way to help solve the wood, so I don't have to go chomping down trees, fill up our wand, and then just keep eating different foods. That's literally the name of the game. So make this, and this will be me making my bonsai tree. Bonsai tree? Bonsai pot that I'm going to put a tree in. And I'm like, I don't know how these work, so I just kind of go, and I'm like, okay, what do I need? I'm sure I need dirt. I'm sure I need all these things. I'm like, oh, cool, no dirt. Back up to the other chest where I know there's dirt. Grab a stack of that. Put it in, and then we're going to test to see how the bonsai trees work. Put a piece of dirt down. It doesn't have to be dirt. It can be any block, because you put the dirt in the bonsai tree. And I'm like, huh. Yeah, it goes in, and then, it went out. And then I'm like, okay, it's not going back in. I'm like, oh, it's above. That's why. And then so I put it, and then there's dirt, right? And then you just need a sapling. You can put any type of sapling in there. And, didn't take a sapling down. Back up. Should have grabbed it when I grabbed the dirt. But as you notice, I'm not a thinker ahead. I'm just kind of a do as I do type of player. And put it in, and you start to see it. There it is. It's growing. Grows pretty fast. I mean, obviously, it's nice. And then I'm like, dropper, so it can all get stored is a great idea. Do I have the iron? I'm like, yeah, I do. And I'm just kind of clicking through. And then I'm back to looking at the controller, like what I need. And it's lapis while the bonsai tree grows. See in the top right that it grew, but luckily it just keeps with the. I shouldn't say luckily now. Right now you need to go harvest it, but when you have the other ones, it'll grow. And so I'm like, okay, I want this, the advanced version, so it doesn't break. And it's the little sifters. And I'm like, oh, cool, bonsai tree's done. I don't know how to harvest it. So I just take out my axe and I just break it. I'm like, oh, no? Okay. Now look, and then I just break the whole thing. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'm like, I need a dropper for it anyways, so I'm not going to put it back. And then I'll just be going through, sorting kind of through my lapis, my, making my dropper, doing this, all the stuff that I need. I'm like, okay, and then need more wood. So I make the sifter first, and you'll just see you kind of make a mesh, a little mesh thing, and some iron bars, which you need. And I was like, perfect. Then you move them, and then boom, that's done. And now that'll never break, and you can just make these lapis things. And they'll make lapis out of it. If you have 5 pieces of lapis, it'll make lapis for you. And you can see all those flowers we turned into 16 lapis. Not amazing, not terrible. All right, you know. And then we can make a block. And then that's our 4th block. Boom. And so now you'll notice we need gold nuggets and a piece of obsidian, and that's the thing done. And so we kind of just go through our quests, click everything. That way we can just kind of collect the different rewards that you get from the chests, the quests being done. And then I'm like, oh, I need this, I need this. So I'm just kind of going through what I need, pulling everything apart. So I make the cabling. So that's all done. And then now I just need the obsidian. So that's what's left is our hunt for the obsidian. I make the bonsai dropper. I set that up on our chests. And I go and I grab that, and then I make our chest, and I make the bonsai. And now what that will do is it'll grow a bonsai, and you'll see it. So it'll fully grow a bonsai tree. And then once that bonsai tree is done, the hopper will basically, it'll like break the tree, put the ingredients in the chest, and then it'll grow another one. And so it's a constant source of wood for us, so that way we don't have to go chop down trees anymore. We'll just use that. Boom, that's done. And it gives us, it's obviously not a lot, right? The first one, 2 sticks. It's not really helpful. We're like, okay. But eventually it'll give us logs. It'll give us other saplings. It can even give like apples and stuff. So it's helpful to us at the start. But we, like I said, need more lapis, and we need obsidian. The lapis is just because lapis is good to have for the future. And here's the obsidian. Set it off, go little, and I'm like, all right, time to start mining it. And then I forget. Oh, you know what doesn't get mined? You know what doesn't mine obsidian? Iron pickaxes. And then those fucking owls. Holy hell, they're so annoying. And then so, I'm like, all right, time to go back home, and then make another pickaxe that can mine the obsidian. And what do I have a ton of? Emeralds. So we make an emerald pickaxe, and then we're off to mine the obsidian. But that is the end of this first episode. And I will show you what happens in episode 2 with our emerald pickaxe, and then soon to be our controller done. So as you'll see, bing. It's nighttime. I'm like, oh, gotta go to sleep. But we'll see the concludes of that next episode. Thank you. Goodbye.